Nice day, colleagues. Welcome to Sri Lankan Science Channel. Again, today there was a very valuable event in Sri Lanka. So we are in Nipunata Piyasa under the Ministry of Education today. And today I have a special guest here. He is Dr. Shahmy. He is from NASTEC and he has been the NASTEC host in the today's event. This event is actually basically on BIMSTEC. And you know already we have already had a separate event earlier on BIMSTEC, and Sri Lanka was the host for that as well. And this time, after 1 month period also, there was another event. It was called Himalayan Science Council. What is this and why this establishment is very important, and what are the key points that they have considered in this meeting. So Dr. Shahmy is very important person in this event, and he is the right person to explain what is this. So I invite Dr. Shahmy. Can you explain what happened today? What was this event?
Thank you, Dilip, for this wonderful opportunity. And actually this is earlier last month we have a meeting that's called in BIMSTEC, that means the science and technology sector under the BIMSTEC. This is the meeting, this meeting we call this Himalayan Science Council under the BIMSTEC. So this first meeting was held in India in 2021 for forming the Himalayan Science Council, and this is the second meeting this Sri Lanka host this time. So the leading country for this Himalayan Science Council is India, and with other seven members. So what is Himalayan Science Council mean? That is a council or the collaborative effort initiated by BIMSTEC to collaboratively work and provide the scientific inputs to across the sectors issues to address. Particularly they listed there are.
I think what is the we have to explain to our audience what is this Himalayan Science Council, why this sort of council is formed.
Yeah,
I heard that there's an issue of climate change.
Yes, not only the climate change, that's the thing I'm going to come to say. So I will come to that point. Briefly, we can the scientific inputs through the collaborative effort to address issues pertaining in across the sectors. Just suppose the sectors, as you mentioned, that's it: climate and monsoons and blue economy and rivers, forestry and wildlife, and agriculture and fisheries, and water resource and sediment management, and hazards and environment pollution, green technology and social impacts. These are across the sectors. There are several issues in these countries. So they strongly believe that by forming this Himalayan Science Council in these sectors, these countries will collaboratively work and address the issues through the scientific, providing the scientific solutions or scientific inputs. So to do that thing, so they propose there are 8 working group to address these sectors working. That 8 working groups we can name that: climate science and meteorology, and glaciology and hydrology, fisheries and oceanography, ecosystem and biodiversity, and agriculture, geosciences, and science policy interface, and basin wide water and sedimented management. So these 8 working group will form, and this 8 working group will work to address the issues pertaining to the sectors which I mentioned earlier across the sector. So this is the discussion. The concept note in this Himalayan Science Council was developed in 2020 like a period, and all the countries has had a first meeting in 2021, and today is the second meeting. And due to this last time due to some local issues, it could not be happening on time. So this time it happened to adopt this concept paper, this concept note, and by adopting this concept paper and by agreeing, today it was agreed with among the countries and tentatively agreed, and the secretariat in the Bangladesh, at the moment BIMSTEC secretariat will facilitate to produce a secretariat for particular for this work, and that will be still in the discussion, and how that the model will work. So we hope that another meeting, then today it was decided the third meeting will be hosted by India next year. So this is a summary of the Himalayan Science Council. So that's all the today meeting. It was there are 40 members, 40 delegates were represented among these 7 countries, and Sri Lanka also produced Sri Lanka also take and contributed actively to address these issues, and hope we will bring a good relationship in the, we can say, the science diplomacy. It's a way of science diplomacy, and we can work with these 7 countries, and we can come with the collective decisions, and it can bring the collaborative research, and it can enable to exchange between the experts between the country through this framework. And that's a summary of the today meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shahmy, because this sort of collaborations are much needed in the era like this, because countries should work together to face the environmental changes. So definitely we witnessed that Sri Lanka was playing a big role here, and it will be playing a better role as well. And our delegates from various ministries, we found from this education and science and technology and foreign affairs and environment and agriculture, various sectors were represented today, and they all were actively engaging in communicating in the drafting of this document.
Yeah.
And I am quite confident that this role of Sri Lanka in the collaborative efforts on the climate change issues will be very much beneficial, and Sri Lanka will be able to play a key and leading role in this sort of international events as well. So we wish you all the best for the NASTEC being leading role playing and organizing this, and I'm sure that the audience will also will get a lot of information about this, and we kindly invite everybody to take a positive attitude towards the climatic activities that we are doing to mitigate the climate change issues in the region. So, and also we invite all the scientists and research groups to look into this area and make your inputs to this council through the NASTEC and all any other ministries. Yeah.
That's one point I can mention, that the today meeting actually that's what we mentioned, the above areas today. So we have the, actually we can say, the interministerial coordination like a meeting. So there are some other ministries also take part today, not only the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Irrigation and Ministry of Agriculture. And so we can say that is a interministerial, like we got a input from across the ministries. Another thing, and last I would like to highlight that thing. Today we also discuss the way forward of this this work. It does mean that how we have going to contribute to the national targets and under the SDGs. So how we going to sustainable development goals, the country targets, we have the country among the country targets, how we going to contribute to this particular work, and hope we will have a good results. And thank you for
of course. So we'll meet again with similar kind of information or news for you. Stay connected with the Sri Lanka Science Channel. Subscribe, like and share with your colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you.